Hello, everyone. Happy Black History Month. Today is the first day. Gotta wear my chocolate shirt. Um, representing for the people. When you see this, it'll be. If you watch it when I first put it out, it's gonna be the 1st of February. If you watch it the next day, it'll be the 2nd. So yeah. Um, Hopefully you will listen to Black artists, read Black books by Black authors, um, watch Black documentaries, TV shows, movies, all of everything. Okay, that would be great. Great for all of us, especially with a bunch of attacks on minorities, including Black, LGBTQ plus, and other races of LGBTQ plus people. It's crazy out here, y'all. So yeah, hopefully this Black History Month will be very blackety black for you and for me. Well, of course for me because I'm going to be covering a bunch of black stuff, and I'm black every day. So here we are. So today I'm going to talk about a classic comedy movie called House Party, and we're going to talk about the 1990 version, and then we're going to talk about the 2023 version. So that just came out last year. I didn't watch it last year, and I watch it now. Excuse me. So, House Party is a comedy. The synopsis for the original is Play's parents are out of town, and he's planning a house party to end all house parties. His best friend Kid wants to go more than anything, knowing Sydney, played by Tisha Campbell, the hottest girl in school, is sure to be there. Which it's like a kind of a love triangle thing. So like at first he doesn't really want her, but it is what it is. The hottest girl in school is sure to be there, but when Kid gets into a fight at school, his father grounds him. So determined to go, Kid sneaks out of the house and faces one calamity after another as he makes his way to Play's house and the party of the school year. It was released March 9th, 1990, a whole year before I was actually born, because I was born in October 1991. Directed by Reginald Holden. I hope I said his name right. So Christopher Kidd Reed as Christopher Kidd Robinson Jr. Which I've seen this movie twice, and I didn't realize that Kidd is half white. Which it does make sense because his dad does kind of say something offensive to him in the movie. And Kidd is the one with the hair. If you know. I get that high top fade. Christopher play Martin as Peter play Martin, which is interesting. They gave Play his own last name, but not Kid. And it's kind of interesting. They're both Christopher. Paul Anthony George as Stab. I think that was one of the bully characters. Lucen Bow-legged Lou George Jr. as Pee Wee, and I think that was also another one of the bullies. Brian B. Fine as George. Brian B. Fine, George as Zilla. Robin Harris as Christopher Pop Robinson Sr. And this, when I was looking at like the facts about this movie, was his last role before he passed away. Martin Lawrence as Bilal, so they got some heavy hitters in this movie. Tisha Campbell as Sydney, AJ Johnson as Shireen. I hope I'm saying her name right. I'm gonna skip pretty much everybody else because I don't really feel like any of these other people are really that important, honestly. John Witherspoon is in this movie as well as Mr. Strickland, who's like a neighbor of Plays, who like is upset. He's having a party, he can't go to sleep, which is funny because he's kind of just being nosy. Like he could just go to sleep and close the window. But yeah, he's in there. So I'm trying to think, is there anybody else? Not saying nobody else is big timing, but that's pretty much the main cast. Where can you stream it at? Tubi, which is where I watched it, but it might be gone now because I think it was coming off in like 2 days. Yeah, because yesterday, which when you say this, it'll be 2 days ago. Wednesday was the last day to watch it. Amazon Prime, Apple TV, Vudu, Google Movies, Google Play Movies, and TV. So I'm going to talk about the pros and the cons and my overall opinion. So one of the my first pros is that it's just so funny. It's like genuinely funny. It had many funny scenes, even the tense scenes with the police officers. You know, of course, they're police officers, white police officers, harassing people in the hood. It's intense, but um, there are some jokes in there, and especially with Robin Harris's character, he does go back and forth with the police officers, and it was funny. Um, and then Bilal has like a thing. That's Martin Lawrence's character, where he has bad breath. So there's like constant joke throughout the movie. So I thought that was really funny. And also, Robin Harris does not, for some reason, he does not like his name, Bilal's name. I don't really know why, but he keeps calling him like weird stuff. Like the whole movie. I can't remember all of the names he called him, but basically he just doesn't like his name, so he calls him different stuff. He calls his own son kid like mophead and stuff. And it's just so funny. Um, I don't want to spoil everything, but there's like a gag where I forgot who the guy was. I think they had another character named Groove, or no, they had another character named Chill, and he kept bumping like the DJ booth while Bilal was trying to DJ. So they had like a lot of like different things going on, and it just made it really funny. Um, and unique characters, especially Kid. I mean, look at him. He's very unique. And in the beginning of the movie, he's wearing his pajamas. They're like white with like all these shapes on it, and he has like the I don't know if you I guess it would be a bonnet, a sleep hat that he puts on his head. That goes around his hair. He's unique. Kid's unique. Um, I mean, I just said kid. Play is unique. Um, Everybody's unique in this movie. Everybody just has their own kind of personality. Shireen is kind of like the party girl, kind of I don't know how to say this. She's kind of like if she was a girl of today, she'd be like a hottie. She'd like to have fun, date a lot. Yeah, I know. And then what is her character's? What is her character's name? Sydney by Tisha Campbell. She's more of like I don't know if a good girl this makes sense, but she seems like kind of more shy, more reserved. Like everybody's like unique in the movie. Uh, Plays like the player type. He gets all the girls at the party. He talks to Kid and it's like, oh well, this girl's like this and this girl's like that. You should get with this girl instead of that other girl because Shireen, she lives in the projects. Um, and then uh, I keep forgetting her name. Sydney. I will keep wanting to call her Shirley for some reason. Sydney lives like in a more suburban part of the city that they live. Um, so that's what that makes me. And then of course Bilal has the bad breath, but he's also the DJ guy. He has all these records. He's like the life of the party basically. And then they have like even like the bullies are very unique and interesting. Um, Even though they're kind of exaggerated, but it is what it is. Everybody's unique. The music was so unique. They had a lot of bops. They had this Luther Vandross song playing in the beginning, singing about the house party. And then of course they rap it in the movie Kid and Play, and they do like a rap battle, and then they rap together. So of course they had the bops. So that was really cool. And I like that the story is simple. It's just about a house party. Which, when we get to the remake, you're gonna see that it's like too much going on. But it's just simple. Kid gets in trouble at school. He wants to go to this house party. There's a conflict. He has to get around the conflict. It's like different stuff that's going on. You know what I mean? So it's simple. It's not too much going on. There is like one funny thing that's like very unrealistic. I'm gonna spoil it because like it's not really like a plot point or anything, but they're partying so hard at the house party that roof blows off, and it's just like flying through the air for the rest of the movie, and it lands on the racist cops, which is good. So, yeah, those are my pros. My cons are, this is so funny. I feel like you could say this today, but everyone looks like they're at least 30 to 45. LOL. But the bullies especially look like they are like at least 45 to 50 range. Like, these kids get held back a lot. Of course, some people look kind of younger than other people. Um, some people, like maybe Kid and Play, you could kind of have the argument that, like, you know, like how some generations they're taller and some generations they're shorter. They look different from generation to generation. I feel like you could use that excuse for like some of the kids. Okay. But like I feel like Martin Lawrence looks very adult. Even though they're all adults. Uh, Tisha Campbell and AJ, what's her last name? Johnson as Shireen. That could be a kind of borderline, but the bullies definitely look like they have houses and mortgages, and they should not be in high school. Um, I kind of feel like they could have made this a college movie potentially, but I didn't make the movie, so I can't, say change the time period. You know what I mean? And Kid and Play's friendship for some reason don't seem that close in this movie. It kind of seems like they just started becoming friends, but maybe that's like, and it's like a, I guess, world building thing for the rest of the house party movies, because I know they're like in each other's lives for like a very long time, throughout the house party franchise. And here's my overall opinion: it's a very fun and funny movie, very chill watch, like very simple. You can just watch it. You don't gotta like decipher things or concentrate too hard. It's a great rewatch and not too much to think about as far as plot slash story goes. There are some outdated slash offensive content. They say the F slur. If you know what the F slur is, it's pertaining to gay people. Um, I'm trying to think what else they say. They said, of course, they probably said some other stuff, but just a warning. Music was good too, which I already talked about. Very straightforward. Nothing distract you from the premise. It's just like a straight line. You know what I mean? There's a house party. You want to go to it. You grounded. You gotta figure something out. That's pretty much it. I'm gonna give it a 7 out of 10. It's not perfect, but it's simple and it's fun. Alright, so let's get to the house party from last year. Of course, it's a comedy again. Its plot follows two young, aspiring club promoters working as house cleaners who throw a party at their latest job site, LeBron James Mansion, which we're gonna get into. But the whole idea of them doing this was just so dumb to me. But we're gonna get to that. It was released January 13th last year. Directed by Cal Maddock. That's how you say his name. The cast is Jacob Lattimore as Kevin, Tosin Cole as Damon, Karen Obilom as Venus, DC Young Fly as Vic. I'm trying to think, is there really anything else? Any more important people? I mean, there are some, but well, I'll talk about Venus's friend Shakira Janae Pay as Mika, who is Venus's friend. Everybody else was kind of like, I don't know, they weren't the main people, but they were kind of around the main two guys. But and there were cameos from everybody. Of course, LeBron James, they were in his house. Maya, Kid Cudi. I'm just gonna give you like really important ones. Snoop Dogg, because these are people they talked to in the movie. Snoop Dogg, Juvenile performed. Tinashe. We're gonna talk about why Tinashe was in the movie. It was really interesting. I gotta remember though, because I didn't write it down. I just remembered about that. Lil Wayne has like one speaking role. Kid and Play make a cameo, so that's the most important. Those are the most important people. And there are other cameos, but that's all I'm gonna say. What can you stream? You can stream it on Max, which is what I have. Hulu, you have to have subscription to Max, which I'm like, I guess that's an add-on. I don't know if that like comes as a package, because I have both, but my mom pays for one and I pay my friend for the other one. Speaking of that, I need a pair. So I don't know if you can get them together, but you can also watch it on Amazon Prime, Apple TV, Vudu, Google Play Movies and TV, YouTube, and YouTube TV. Like I said, I don't really know what the difference is. Oh, one, I guess I forgot YouTube TV does have like live channels. So we're gonna go into my pros, my cons, and my overall opinion. And I hate to be, I try not to be a remake hater. I really do, but I don't have that many cons. I mean, I don't have that many pros. Okay. The pros are they have funny moments. I will admit they did have some funny moments, so I will give it that. I also like seeing the blooper reel at the end of the movie. That was really fun. One of the funny moments was they were talking about Vic, played by DC Young Fly, not getting drunk because he does weird stuff when he gets drunk, which he gets high in the movie and he does weird stuff, which I'm about to talk about. But he got drunk at a frat party and was playing the song "Fuck Donald Trump" by YG featuring the late Nipsey Hussle, and those people were not happy. It was so funny, but that was really that was one of the funnier moments. And then Vic got high at the party, which I'm like, aren't you the DJ? Aren't you supposed to stay up at the booth? I don't know nothing about DJs, y'all. I don't be going to parties, so I'm like, aren't you supposed to stay up there? What you doing? But he gets high, and he thinks he's back in time. And it kind of ruins the party, but they figure it out. You know, of course, you know they fix everything, but it's just so funny because like at one point he thinks he's like, I forgot what year he said. I think one of the points was like 1940s. One point was like the 70s, and then he didn't want to play certain things because like he didn't want to play. They wanted to play Migos, but he was like, it's 1996. Migos don't exist yet. It was just really funny. So that's it. Those are my only pros. And get to the cons. So I was wrong in my short video when I said I did not think, I'm so congested, when I did not think that there would be any more nostalgia bait. There was a lot more actually after the first 30 minutes. So nostalgia bait is my first con. From the title to the music at the party, they were playing like a lot of 90s music. They referenced the dance battle from the original movie in this movie, which I mean, I feel like that was kind of an obvious one that they probably would have done. You know, I should have expected that. Oh, that's another thing. Vita's supposed to be a dancer. Now, I will say another con, but I don't think I really. Okay, I talked about the characters, but I didn't talk about the backstory. But it's kind of not really a lot of like world building. You know, like Venus's aspirations to be a dancer, so turned and Tinashe danced together during the dance battle. And it's just weird. I don't know. Maybe I feel like we're gonna talk about this, but I feel like they were trying to do too much, and the premise was like it was like too much. But we're gonna talk about that later. And they also mimicked the opening scene from Belly, which, you know, of course, I don't know if Belly's like, I really love the opening scene of Belly, but I don't know about the whole movie overall. I have to rewatch it. But that was very like, oh, you really gonna do this? It's like you're referencing a better movie than the one we're actually watching, basically. And I feel like they probably had other movie references, but after I watched it, I feel like I couldn't remember everything. So, and then the story. How did they really think they were going to get away with throwing a party at LeBron James' house? LOL. That whole plan was just so dumb. And I don't understand why they didn't think anything was going to go wrong with this plan. I'm going to spoil it because I don't really feel like it's worth a watch. I really don't. Unless you have Max and you're just bored, I guess. I would not recommend this movie. But I'm going to get more into, like, why not later. But what happened? Now I lost my train of thought. Oh, so the two guys, Damon and Kevin, the main characters, get fired from their cleaning job, right? But they're cleaning the Brown James house. They figure this out. And for some reason, they think it's a good idea that for them to have a party at a house that they just cleaned at as employers, as employees. It's just weird. Why can't you just have like a like I feel like they wanted to up the ante from the original, but sometimes it's just okay to be simple. Um, and then my next con is the characters. None of them had really any redeeming qualities. Like they tried to give them. Venus is risking her future too for covering for her idiot friends. LOL. Because I think she gets the keys for them for the house or like something, basically, for them to have the party. And the motivations were just dumb to me. Like, how is any of this really going to work out in your favor? So Kevin wants to have like partial custody of his daughter with his baby mama, but he doesn't have any money to pay for her preschool, so he wants to get money to pay for the preschool. Which I get it. And then it's like they got kicked off of another party by the bullies in the movie, um, which is like, which it is Devon's fault because he stole one of their sister's chains. Why are you stealing a woman's chain, first of all? What's that? I don't like to be stereotyping for gender, but really, why are you stealing a woman's chain? Like, what's going on with that? So, I mean, it's kind of all his fault anyway. And then he comes up with the idea of having the party there, which, yeah, okay. Also, the characters aren't unique or interesting. Um, I think I meant to say interesting either. I put even. Either, yeah, they're just kind of like, like one of the characters named Mika is like an IG baddie. Vic is like, he's a DJ. Like, nobody really is unique in this movie. Oh, and there's this comedian named Jasmine Brown. Her character was so fucking annoying. And I hated every time she was on screen. She was like yelling. I guess I know one of her characters like a kind of like a ghetto girl character, but I don't really watch her as much as I used to. So it was just irritating every time she was on screen. And then my last con was the randomness slash doing too much. The bully guys were like very weird, and I felt like not really necessary, except to have a problem that the story needed to solve. So they need to steal LeBron's championship ring, so that the characters had to get it back, and that was pretty much it. Like I don't, and to be antagonists, I guess I don't really understand why they need to be there. Like at least for the house party in the original movie, they're school bullies because you're at school together. That makes sense. But you're bullies out in the regular world. I don't know. That's just random to me. It's not like Damon and Kevin are any gang or anything. It's just they just don't like each other. It's just so random to me. And then they had an Illuminati scene towards the end of the movie, and it was so weird. And I feel like they could have solved the problem with replacing the ring some other way. To have been like, oh, we gotta go to the Illuminati headquarters and get another ring. What? Okay. And then Vic the DJ getting high just so Damon could share Kevin's beat and get Kevin noticed. They couldn't have got his beat played any other way. I don't know. It was weird to me. And then Damon seducing the singer Maya with a poem and then falling in love. It's just like these are so many far fetched things. It's like it's like the movie's realistic, but also not realistic. It's like weird. Kevin and Venus suddenly falling in love after working together for I don't know how long. And I also hated the ending because everything just magically works out in their favor. I just hate it. I'm gonna ruin the ending because I'm gonna be honest with you. I really don't think you need to watch it. So LeBron is about to call the police on the guys, right? But Damon, I don't know why LeBron James is a professional basketball player. Why are you gonna challenge him in basketball? So Damon loses, of course, and he takes the fall and he goes to jail for Kevin. They raised this money to be able to pay for his daughter's school, but they were also going to have the house fixed up and cleaned before LeBron got back. But of course, he came back early. They couldn't keep the money, so they had to give it back. They had to give it to LeBron, basically, and he didn't need it, so he just gave it to charity. So Venus and Kevin move in together. They fall in love. Kid Cudi, the whole movie was talking about this poem that he wrote just for LeBron, and LeBron was moved by the poem, so he had Demond released early from prison or jail, I guess. Maya comes to pick him up. Kevin's he makes beats. Big Sean is in the movie. He buys the beat. Big Sean, and I think Hit Boy is the producer's name. Buy the beat so that he makes money to pay for his daughter's school. I hate that. I just hate it. It's just like too sweet, too suckily sweet to me. It's like, oh, everything is working fine. Ugh. Okay, here's my overall opinion. Don't watch this movie, lol. It's like nostalgia. This is a nostalgia bait ass movie. This really could have been any Party Gone Wild movie, but they had to make it a remake to capitalize on nostalgia and get people to watch it. Because otherwise, I don't think anybody would have watched it. The characters are not as interesting and unique as the original. The party isn't even as fun looking as the original either. The motivations are just so dumb. And also, I feel like Damon is technically more of the party promoter, so he wants to get big to be able to promote more parties, which is just dumb. I hated everything working out, and it was just too perfect of an ending. I'm gonna give it a 2 out of 10, just because I did laugh a few times, and it wasn't. Otherwise, it would have been a 1 or none. But I would say, don't waste your time on this movie. It doesn't have to be a shot-for-shot remake, but at least it had something new and interesting to the lore of these movies, and I feel like it didn't, because everything was worked out in the end. So what are you going to talk about? I mean, I don't know if they were going to make another one, but it just doesn't make any sense to me. It didn't add anything to the lore or the world of the house party movies. So it could have been any movie, really. I don't know why it needed to be a house party movie, but I know because it was a cash grab. So I have a rant. It's actually a part 2 of my rant. You don't really have to watch the first one. I mean, watch. You don't have to. I have my first rant in my Carrie comparison movies rant. I did copy and paste it here, but you don't really have to listen to the first part because I feel like I kind of touch on the same things. But you know what? I'm just going to read both and put them together. So I'm going to read part 1 and part 2. I feel like remakes are so hard to redo because people often feel like the original movies are classics, and it can be a daunting task. I would say, so these are talking about the Carrie movies. I would say both remakes add new elements and are not just shot-for-shot remakes like I expected them to be. I like that they keep the basic story but put some new things in it, although the 2012 version put too many things in it for Carrie, but I digress. She had like new powers that she never had in the other movies. I think remakes can be a creative way to retell a popular story. However, now they are just soulless cash grabs. So it'd be nice to see remakes that actually want to be classics as well versus a way to profit off nostalgia. Granted, I didn't see the original It movie, but I think remakes that are great. I think the remakes of the It movie, part 1 and 2, are great. A great example of actual good remakes that become classics in their own right. So that's my first paragraph. So here's my new rant. Remakes should bring something fresh to an established franchise. However, a lot of remakes just use the name to get a guaranteed break even in revenue. That's pretty much that's it. They've been soulless cash grabs because execs know if people already love a franchise, they're going to want to see the new remake. If the new remake is going to add or reinvent the story of that franchise. For example, what movie is it? Gosh, Halloween. Sometimes they'll do new directors for different reboots. So that's like one example of what they might do to reinvent the story. To have a new director, a new vision, a new kind of story part. More often than not, though, it doesn't live up to the hype. There's nothing new or unique about the remake or the reboot that makes it even necessary other than to get guaranteed money. And I brought up It the last time. I ranted about remakes, but it's still a standout for me. I feel like people are getting remake fatigue because every time one comes out, it really lives up to the expectations of the franchise it belongs to. I wish instead of remakes, they would continue the stories like Chucky series, even though they also had remakes, so maybe not the perfect example, lol. But the series has at least a lot of the original creators from, like, all of the franchise, all of the movies at least. Um, and I think more franchises should go in that direction instead of just rebooting the whole thing. Maybe just expand the world that was already created, which I feel like it's kind of easier for Chucky because he's a doll, so you don't have to worry about people who get older or people who pass away and maybe can't be in the franchise anymore. So yeah, now that's kind of different. But yeah, have you seen the House Party remake? What do you think of it? What do you think of remakes in general? What do you think? What are you thinking? Let me know. And happy Black History Month once again. And I'll see you all next week.